unbeaten now and a good 3 points out there this evening.
Yeah, 3 points is all that concerns us, and it's something we drive in the changing room. We're not ones for looking backwards, and we don't tend to, we're not counting or tallying or trying to say, oh, let's try and preserve this or do that. So for us, it's just about winning games. So tonight against second against third, a real top opponent, and for us to come out with 3 points and the manner of the performance, we're delighted.
It was tough conditions, but both sides went at it straight from the first whistle.
They did, and you have to give Crusaders credit because we've been in that place as well. We had the free week this week. That was their, I think, 5th game in 13 days. And it's something probably we looked at pre-game where we said try and get the tempo up and try and go as hard as we can and sustain that. So big credit to our boys. I thought that to beat Crusaders at any time is very, very tough, and I thought the manner of how we worked it out and got our goals was super.
And Josh Carson limped off in the first half, but Matthew Shevlin came on and got off the mark for the club. You must be delighted with that. Yeah,
you're delighted for I think any striker that comes, I think they'll always judge themselves on goals and they'll always want to get off the mark. And Matthew's got a lot of qualities that excite us. He works tremendously hard and he does score goals as well. And to be fair to him, it's a cracking cross from Stephen Lowry. But a textbook header, he goes back across the goalkeeper and heads it low, which was brilliant, and delighted for him.
And another great strike from Oran Jarvis from the edge of the box in the second half.
Yeah, and it's been a frustrating season for Oran. He obviously had the shoulder against Motherwell, which has kept him out for a period of time. He had a wee niggly calf there, which has disrupted him sort of for the last month or two. But it was probably last week, I think the Tuesday night game was at the Portadown game. I think he looked, all of a sudden, it just clicked and he looked back to his best again. And I thought tonight he was the same, not just based on the fact that he scored a goal. I just thought his all-round performance again was Oran Jarvis we know and love.
Yeah, and 3 changes again tonight. It was obviously nice to get a few boys back from injury, I suppose.
Yeah, and Oran Trainer's been out for a few weeks, Stephen O'Donnell as well. Great to have James McLaughlin back on the bench as well, and even better not to need to use him, if you know what I mean, which gets another week's training into him, which is brilliant. So we've probably been a revolving door for the last 6 weeks of players in and players out, and it's nice. This is probably the first week where it's settled a wee bit, and we had to leave a couple of players out of the 18 tonight, which wasn't ideal, but it's a sign of touch wood where we're at from a squad point of view.
Nice to get that extra few hours rest and a night off on Tuesday from a match ahead of Carrick next Saturday.
Yeah, but after that, and I think that's been the mindset of trying to not risk players and make sure that we have a full squad, because once we hit Carrick this Saturday, I think we hit 5 or 6 weeks of Tuesday, Saturday again. So, and it'll be the longest stretch of that we'll have to sustain this season. So I think that's the important thing I think we've 21 fit players at this point in time who'll all train on Tuesday night. And I think it's so important that we carry it into this next stage of the season.